in, come on. My kitty is going crazy. I'm Zoe, and this is Divinity Within Thee, where we take time to get in touch with the divine. Come here. Um, some people's cats like to do this zoomy stuff like in the middle of the night, but I like literally taught my cat that wasn't going to be a thing, and so I slowly taught her that we sleep at night. And so I don't have a cat that runs around in the middle of the night, which is amazing. I have a cat that sleeps at night. But sometimes she gets really excited, and it's like this in the morning. Sometimes. It depends. Like, if I do more things in the morning, then she gets really hypey. So I'm just trying different times, and I was looking, and I was going to be like, what the heck? And I looked, and I was like, okay. And it was 7:07, and I said, all right, I'll do the video, right? So I had to go fill up my water, and I had to find this crappy knife, because it doesn't matter, like every pen in my house is like running out of ink or something. So I know, because where I used to keep all of the notes was in my tablet, because it listened to my voice the best. And the reason for this is obviously speaking or dictating, not being a dictator, but being able to speak and have somebody write it down. Probably from lots of past lives of being royal, you know? I'm just like used to people documenting what I say. It's like, why isn't somebody writing this down? What the fuck? So anyways, you know, I could just go and get a pen, but that would require a lot more effort and energy. For me, anyways. And just nicely whittling one of these art pencils, which I should have for sketching anyways, right? So why not? So anyways, how you guys doing? Today is Wednesday, the day of Mercury. This is the day of communication. Hello. Hello. And that's why I think it's important that you have proper writing utensils. Now, lead is actually good. This is actually like a good alchemical element. So it's good to write when you want to write things, especially for manifesting. Did you guys do your new moon manifestations yet? Write those down. I was attempting to write mine down. Now, I already know I keep mine. I do them in my intentions, in my baths, in my cleansings, in my teas, everything. But I really wanted to write some things down, so hence me whittling away with this shitty knife to have a pencil. So guys, hello, I'm Zoe. If you're new here, hi, hello, let me see, I can't see. I have to open you up on another device. Number one, can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Hi. Good morning. Namaste. I don't know, baby Saja. Sup? Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Zoe. Nice to meet you. This is Divinity Within Thee. I'm going to do some cards, but I was obviously trying to explain the importance of being able to write and manifest the things that you want on new moons. This is really important. Something else I do here is I make many things, much art and all kinds of other things. So every day before I start the reading, I share with you guys something that I've made. This is like one of the first prototypes. So it's actually not my favorite, but yeah, this is a bodysuit, a cat suit. Can you guys see the underwear? Barely, right? You know why? You know why you can't see it? Because it's seamless. Because the bamboo underwear that I make is seamless. I do make men's and women's as well. The cat suit is just plain. This one doesn't have any. The color is on the inside stitching. I don't know if you can see this. On the inside stitching. I tried to do it so it was just more black, but it's a little too plain. I like the color. I like the purple or the color for me personally. And then, of course, can we give it up for the cat socks? Shout out to my girl Claire for these socks. Meow meow, my love cat, my friend for a long time. So, Wednesday, Mercury, the day of Mercury. This is the day about communication. This is a great day to communicate with people about things or to bridge communications maybe that haven't been, maybe if there's someone you need to communicate or apologize to or with, you should maybe try that today. It's a good day. Good day for that. Wednesday is a good day for that. What do you think, Shells? Okay, so guys, let's start off with some keepers of the light, and then let's go. Hello. Hello. Hi. Where's everybody from? Where are you guys from? I don't recognize some of this writing. Heart awakening, but you guys are having heart awakening. That's good. Have you guys' heart woke up? All right. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. So that's good. Now that we had this new moon in Libra, the Libra is all about the balance, things coming into balance. I think we'll make these ones today. I think we'll burn the amber ones because I saw them yesterday and I wanted to burn the amber ones. And then I thought of a couple ambers that were close to me and they popped on to say hello yesterday. So we will do the amber today for our dear, lovely Lady Ambers. Dear universe, source creator, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, aliens, Galactic Federation, all those who are here to help and guide us and bring clarity and messages of love and light and the highest vibrational frequency. For all of those here in the collective, we thank thee for your guidance and your protection and your clarity that you bring us, and so it is. Okay, guys. So new moon in Libra, heart awakening. We're finding this balance. We're finding the balance in not just... This is like, yeah, we're finding the balance in like all of our relationships, especially the relationship to ourselves, right? Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Oh, cool. You're from India. Dope. We got Krishna. We got Krishna on deck. Where in India? India is cool. I want to go to India. Oh, look. Need to clear my throat chakra. Are you guys smoking over there, man? Come on. Lord Shiva, transcendence. Rise up. Honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Hey, yeah. Let's go. Shiva. Okay, guys. So what's really beautiful here is to see heart awakening, devotion, and transcendence is really on point, key theme of what's going on with this Libra new moon that we just had, and just with this shifting, right? It's about finding the balance with all the relationships, especially the relationship for ourselves. As our heart begins to awaken, we stop to be we stop to allow things that were insulting to our being or our soul to continue, okay? And so this is a very big thing, right? And so then we get into the state of devotion, right? Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. So when you are devoted to doing the self-mastery, the self-work, right? When you're devoted to also connecting with the divine, right? That's why my channel is called Divinity Within Thee, right? When you are tapped into the divinity, to the divine that's within you, right? When you are in that state of devotion to self, to others, right? To be learning and to be mastering this experience that we're having, because we're co-creating it, right? So Lord Shiva moves on to transcendence, right? Rise up, honor your inner force, steps are being given. So what we're doing is, as we're changing into this new era, right? KNEW, this new era, this series of remembrance, right? As we're speaking our truth, as a collective, as a global, as everything, right? As human beings, right? As beings of light, right? Joan of Arc, voice of truth, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. This is like such a big thing going on right now. And so there's a lot of relationships that are ending. And this isn't just interpersonal relationships. This is also our relationships that we have to certain structures, to food, to maybe habits or patterns or addictions, right? To certain people, right? The more that we become aware, we see where these patterns, where the pattern disrupt, right? Where the patterns or behaviors or habits have started to become, are no longer serving us. Maybe they're not starting to become a problem. Maybe they've been a problem for a long time. And we just didn't notice it, or we've just been choosing to ignore it, I think is kind of like a better way. We've been choosing to ignore it. We've been in this, and so now we're in this very interesting, like, Kali Ma state, right? This, as we're transcending, we're having this ability to rise from the ashes, to see what we are burning down, right? Which bridges or what things to let go or to burn down, and what we're rising from, in the same point in time, right? Yeah. And then interesting, Master Jesus comes up, forgiveness. But before this we had Isis, so magic. Okay, so as things are manifesting, the more we show gratitude and the more we show forgiveness. Now, just because we show forgiveness, right? To forgive, it's most important first to forgive self. Okay, this is like something to love self and to forgive self. One must forgive self in order to understand that. How do I express that? It doesn't make sense. One must forgive self in order to understand that it was like a lesson, right? We have to slowly get these upgrades or slowly do these lessons. That's why we're here on Earth. That's why we're in this incarnation, is basically what's going on, right? We're here to repair these relationships and the relationships we have with ourselves. So the more first authentic we can become with ourselves, and second, like, happy or stable within our own being, our own truth, our own projection, and not allowing it to distract us or be worried about being perceived, right? They keep telling me this. They keep telling me basically that the problem, like the ego problem right now, is that people are worried to be perceived, to be seen, right? For who they are, without a mask, without a knowing, like a psychological manipulation or something like this. And so this is like a thing where we're bridging over. And that's what this new moon that we just had really was. Yeah, it's like this truth. It's this voice of truth. And if you are doing any inner work, right? If you're doing any inner work, any higher learning or knowledge or anything like this, then you're gonna know. And this voice of truth, this Joan of Arc energy, right? This Joan of Arc energy is gonna continue to like rise up, right? And the less you feel this need, like the less you feel the fear of persecution, right? I think because a lot of what's going on is what I'm getting is a lot of the ancestral karma, okay? A lot of our ancestral karma that we've decided to take on in this incarnation, and that we like finishing up these contracts or whatever, for our ancestors. A lot of the ancestral karma is still a bit, what do you say? It's still kind of like hardwired. So like imagine like when a cat or a duck or something is born, right? They have this just like innate programming to do certain things. So this is the same thing as we're doing the ancestral or generational karma and all of these things, right? It's the same thing. What's happening is basically we're saying, okay, the things that were really traumatic or really tragic or that we're still working on healing from, right? There's like, maybe let's say there's like generational ancestral PTSD, right? This would be like the new way, the new age way to like frame it, right? Like ancestral PTSD. And so this stays like when something is born or whatever, it stays because it's like kind of burned into the memory, right? And this is why it's so important when women are pregnant and stuff like this, the type of what they go through, right? Because that affects everything of how the child is developing and how its brain and everything, like how it responds to everything in life. And so that's basically what's happening is what the ancestors are telling me is the voice of truth is this fear of, they want us to release the fear of persecution, where before we're like the first lineage, right? We're like these indigos, these star seeds, these light warriors, these rainbow, whatever, crystal. And so we're finally at this point in history where we're not going to receive, right? We're not going to be burned at the stake or like all these crazy things, maybe like we would have been. We're not going to be persecuted the same because we have more of a global reach. We have an audience, right? Like we can share, like I can share channeling and information for the collective, like on this platform, right? Like this isn't something that was happening even 10 years ago, really. I mean, I've been doing this for about that long, but like it wasn't the same. So we have a much wider reach of an audience right now and much more captive. And it's really easier for us to kind of like gather people kind of, and share something. And for the right people, right, to show up and to be present and to say, yeah, I'm into this. Wait, I vibe with this, or I'm resonating. Oh my God, this is something I'm also experiencing, right? Because it's something, because it's something that is resonating within the collective conscious. This change, this switch of how we're allowing the relationship to ourselves, and that includes like how we're treating ourselves, how we're feeding ourselves, what we're intaking, right? Our media, our sound, our environment, like everything. And so this is a very big thing right now, right? It's like, what are we projecting out? What are we regurgitating? What are we listening to, and what are we regurgitating? Because that's like, this is the information area where there's so much information. Like, are we repeating or regurgitating or iterating like the proper things that are helpful for us to move forward? And that's what it is this balancing of this relationship, this heart awakening, and being like, wait a second, like, we're all human beings, right? This is humankind. Why do you think it's called humankind? Because we evolve when we're kind with each other, when we understand we're the same, when we understand that we're creating. Our perception, our perceived notion is the separation of how things are actually happening for us, right? We're co-creating this reality. So in knowing that, what is our voice of truth? What are we judging? What are we persecuting others for? Because as within, so without, right? As above, so below. So like what is happening around you and around us is a direct effect of what is not safe or well or sane that's happening within, right? So how do we change the mental construct, right? How do we tap more into this divinity, right? This is intuition. This is the feminine energies, the feminine entity, right? That we all hold. We're all holding masculine and feminine energies, right? So we need to balance out, not overextend, but balance out by saying, oh, my intuition, my feeling, not my hurt, not my pain, not my victim. And I think what's happening right now is because there's been so much victimization of feminine energy and just feminine collective for so long, what even masculine has been projecting and experiencing is this very sad victimization. And I think the reason for that is because the feminine is like, no, we want you to feel what we felt so you can feel sorry for us. Not sorry for us, but so you can understand, right? Because if you could understand, if you could feel even a moment of what we had to experience, even one moment, then maybe you wouldn't, maybe the way that you would understand us would be completely different, and the way that rights and things would be completely different. Look at that. 2222. So it's about creating this balance. It's about not saying one is more or less, one is bigger or smaller, one is needing to be in control or running. It's more of matriarchy, where we're going back to this less punitive type of situation, right? Where we're working together in smaller communities, where we're not sending, where things are more local, where people are knowing how to do things, and people are having different skills or trades, and they are working within a community, right? This is just a different way, right? Create a less punitive system. That way everybody can succeed no matter what it is that they do, because everybody's past ancestral, and I see it a lot. I live in Indonesia, and so I see people that are coming from smaller villages. I live in a village, tribe mentality, and it's they do the thing that they've been taught to do, that's been passed down generationally. That's what we do. We are the first generation where we're well, actually, I kind of maybe want to do something else. But the thing is there's certain things that are still ingrained or embedded through our ancestral history that we are going to maybe feel more called to do. And it doesn't mean just what our family has been doing. The ancestral history can also be different things we've been in past lives, right? We could have been many different things in many lives. Many. But we could still be experiencing the karma from that, not just the karma from our own specific family, right? Isis manifesting. So Isis is well known for bringing Osiris back from the dead. So it's basically this, we're going to the underworld, we're doing the shadow work, we're going through the dark night of the soul and returning out on the top saying, okay, now if you've already done your shadow work and you've sat and you know what a lot of these are, then you're probably not having a difficult time right now, right? If you're a Scorpio, hey, to all my fellow Scorpios out there, happy almost birthday. Happy birthday to my Libras. Now that we're completing Libra season, happy birthday, Scorpio. You know, we are super into the death and the rebirth. That's our jam. We're about it, okay? So we understand that's where the magic happens, is when we're not afraid to evolve, for change to evolve. And this is really big too, because Scorpio is a fixed sign. So they're very set. Like they're actually very set on their ways, right? So it's like, it is how it is. So Isis, manifesting magic. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. So stay focused. What are you giving focus, energy, and attention to? This is what she says to me. Okay? Because if you're really asking and putting it out there to the divine, like really, really, really putting it out there, then, you know, they're going to bring it in. Like if you can't stop thinking about people that make you pissed off, like they might show up. Like you don't want that. 0%. Do we want that? So let's do some cards. What card shall we use today? We'll use the Goddess. Since we need to balance this out a bit, let's use the Goddess Tarot. Messages for the collective. We have Gaia in reverse. Yeah, we haven't been taking enough action, really. For some of us, maybe we haven't been spending enough time in nature. I know that's a bit of me, but I'm surrounded by nature. I have a view from every room in my house. Nothing super spectacular, but enough to keep me happy, right? For some, we haven't been actually taking enough action towards healing the earth. Yeah. For some, we've been taking more, this can be a more sustainable message. So our relationship to Mother Nature, right? Not just to self, but to Mother Nature, and to self. What are we putting in our bodies? Are we eating processed things? Are we eating things that are healthy and organic? Are we working with tonics? Like, what are we doing, you know? Super important. To know. But just to Earth. To stop sucking its resources, okay? We need to repair that relationship. I do my best over here. I do my best. I do bamboo toilet paper and toothbrushes and stuff like this. Why? Because then I'm not contributing to cutting down. Now I do like my books, my notebooks, so, and my cards, but I would be super happy to have cards out of bamboo or hemp fiber. I would be amazing. I guess maybe that's what I'll do, is create some. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Beautiful idea, I guess so, huh? Bring that new. Bring that new. That's what we want. But I do my best. And that's what we can do, is show our devotion, show our gratitude for life, right? Mother Nature. For some of you guys, you may be spending more time with a mother figure or grandmother figure. Some of you guys may be becoming a mother. Some wanting to become mother and have this family. 10 of Cups, amazing. Okay, can you give us messages for the collective? I know you have been, but can we have some cards? Okay, guys, we're gonna start super juicy, aren't we? Here we go. Okay, okay, guys, so what we have here, as usual, is it looks like multiple people and different scenarios. First, we have maybe a secret. Okay, someone was keeping a secret. Okay, something they could have been working on, something they could have been doing. I would say this is more of a, with the Princess of Swords here and the Ace of Wands here, with this Ace of Swords in reverse, this is generally like somebody actually not saying they're sorry, like no remorse, right? This would be like telling you something or apologizing. So this is more like no remorse for maybe actions that were taken, passionate actions that were taken. And for some of you, this could have ended a relationship. Now, some of you guys could have had collective. I've been picking up on this a lot. Somebody that you could have worked with, okay, and you thought that you could keep it like this secret, and that just didn't happen, okay? What it did do is probably ruin some other things that you had. This could have ruined a potential partnership, marriage, job, contracts, union, something like this. Many things of sorts. Now, for the second half, the people that haven't quite come into union yet, okay? We have the Emperor, okay? We have an Emperor entering, okay? In this deck, it is Freya, okay? With the Queen of Swords in reverse. So when this Emperor enters, then we have the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So when this Emperor enters, okay? Now, you may have had to see that someone was not on your team, not your family, not your side, not your partner, not your whatever, right? Not the business, basically. Not someone to be connected with. When that became inherent, this Emperor actually comes in and is like, yeah, look at balance. Yamana, Yamaja. Okay. So this other person basically enters in and says, with this Emperor energy. Now, that doesn't have to be necessarily another person always, okay? The Emperor can be a male or a female. It's the embodiment of the energy of the card, okay? So the reason why I say someone else enters is because I see this Nine of Pentacles, which is the card of at single and at peace. I see the Nine of Pentacles in reverse after Balance, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. So, and then Balance at the end. So what I see is two different things. For some are standing into this Emperor power, maybe after this breaking or this separation, this whatever. They're saying, you know what, I'm standing in this Emperor power. I don't need to argue with anybody. I don't need anybody telling me what to do. I'm here balancing it out on my own, right? And I don't need to be qualified or classified as single or a gold digger or greedy or anything like this, right? I'm just over here finding my balance, okay? This is one way to see it. If you see the Emperor as embodiment like this, because I see the Four of Staffs in reverse, and the first part of it, I want to say this is one story, but this is two separate people or circumstances that are occurring. So the way I see this one is Emperor enters. Enter Emperor, okay? Enter Emperor. Emperor enters so quickly, because I always think this is the Chariot, but this is actually not the Chariot. This is the Emperor. If you notice, this is a 4. Okay? So this is Emperor. This is not the Chariot. But as you see, it looks like the Chariot. So, and this is Freya. So she's coming in hot, okay? With the Queen of Swords in reverse. So the way I see it is, the Emperor is coming in very quickly. Two of Pentacles that are standing upright, to balance what has been out of balance, and to, because again, we have Yermaja, right? So this is balancing also, this is the balance of emotion, right? Also scale, I think this is the Justice. This is Justice, yeah. So this is Justice, okay? So when I see the 9, the single card in reverse, with the Justice card behind it, okay, saying balance, okay, with the Emperor rushing in, I'm going to say that the Emperor is rushing in saying, hey, I'm going to right all these wrongs right now and unsingle you. You know, like the way that I come in to offer this to you, to offer this justice or whatever like this, like you don't even need to think about your position anymore, right? You don't even need to take action or worry or thought or anything about it, because Freya is basically like, I'm just doing it. Yeah. Now this can be somebody that you've known from the past. Okay. It might have been an option that you may have had before at some point in time, or what I'm seeing, this can also be past life, familiar, somebody from your family, okay? Now what I am sensing here is keep your intuition strong, because you might see multiple people. See how the 3 cups are here and the 3 cups are here? So this is celebration, this is third party, okay? So, and with these options at the end here, okay, it's important that feminine has the discernment, right? The Queen of Cups. She's taken the veil off with a cup. She can see through everything, okay? It's important that she has discernment, and she really thinks and tunes into spirit to know what is the best. Because there shouldn't be a question. There shouldn't be a question about this. You may have many people that are also past life connections that are attempting to be in third party situations, and that's not going to happen anymore. No, we have the World in reverse with the King of Wands, okay, and the Prince of Pentacles. Okay, for some of you guys, yeah, and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse with the 5 of Staffs. Okay, so yeah, so for some of you guys, You may have had a passionate, you may have had a passionate love affair or something like this that was going on. Okay? Maybe masculine or feminine, I'm not really sure, but that is coming to an, that's over. Regardless what path you choose, like, this is going to be over. Okay? If they were with somebody else, their thing is over. Okay? Also, this can indicate fire sign, does not have to. But yeah, the king of it's like where you did have some type of passion, where you were experiencing some type of pleasure, like it's not sustainable. It's taking too long. Yeah. There's no strength. It's like unrequited, right? And the Eight of Pentacles. Somebody here is not willing to do the work. Somebody here is just trying to fuck off. Just trying to fuck around. Okay? So there is somebody, for some of you guys, some of them want to keep their options open and say, oh, well, I'm still third party. And for some of you guys, the third party is going to try to stay a part of the connection. Okay, so you need to get the direct answers right away on who the third party is, and you need to make sure that that third party is not ever going to be part of the connection, because what I sense is this person has been doing bad things. Really, like, for some of them may have been doing spells, binding spells, attacks, psychic attacks, maybe physical, like a lot of things. Okay, so you guys need to figure out whoever that third party is, and just figure out how to eliminate them. Yeah. The Princess of Cups. They could have been offering you, yeah, Seven of Swords. Okay. They can be offering you love or companionship. Okay. But you don't be blinded. Okay. Don't be blinded. Look at this oppression. Don't be blinded. Don't make a false or a quick choice. Right? Because this is this oppression is basically judgment. Okay? This would be judgment in the normal tarot. So this is like a higher divine judgment call. So if you're not tuned in, then you're not going to get the stability. Yeah. You're going to get mentally trapped. Okay. So for some of you guys, know who the person is and make sure. For some, they may be trying, remain defensive, not too defensive. And maybe there's some tests or some things that you guys can do to kind of see how people are moving, right? Sacrifice, Kuan Yin. Don't always just believe someone who's willing to sacrifice something. Study a little deeper. Look at this, Juno, tradition, right? This is the Hierophant. Study a little deeper. Learn a little bit more about people before you just be trusting people. That's my theory. Yeah, balance. Figure out the balance, the justice. The Nine of Cups. What is your wish fulfillment? What type of love or lover? So it's really important that we're not, again, are you giving yourself the love or the love that you're wanting to receive or to get from somebody else? Are you capable of giving, right? Have you been giving it to yourself? Are you capable of giving it to someone else? That's the real question, right? Now, I may be capable of giving myself lots of love, and I may be capable of giving other people love and checking in and caring for other people. I don't know if I'm capable of giving my entire house all the love that it needs every day, but I do my best, right? I do my best. I used to be better, but Now I rest a lot because I channel a lot more, so. The sun, happiness, Zora. Okay, for some of you guys, there will be happiness and celebration. Look at this. The Three of Cups. For some of you guys, you will be coming together with kindred spirits. For some, you will be separating. You will see who's been doing stuff against you, right? Nine of Wands, right? Who you require healing and rest from, who you need to start new paths from, and who you're ready to start new paths with, right? Who helps to balance, yeah, who helps to balance and who's willing to do the work with you, because there will be a lot of people that aren't willing to do the work with you. Temptation. Nailoro Kidal. I don't know if I agree with her being temptation. This is a deity. Maybe not Nailoro Kidal, but Nairoro Kidal, okay, who I channel quite a bit, is this Green Queen, okay? So know that your happiness, as long as you will allow temptation, third parties, other people, other situations. For some of you guys, it can be alcohol or just being around people that are doing that, drinking. Maybe you don't have contemplation. Maybe you don't have, maybe you're contemplating how to move forward to be in better space. Yeah, because you don't want to miss opportunities to keep yourself removed. However, yeah. However, I think it's in action, you know. Find the things that you're more passionate about, and not the people or the things that are bringing you pleasure. If that makes sense. Because again, that's temptation. Unless you're trying to build something with somebody and you're like, I want to create a life or a family or something, you know, yeah. Then you can go there. If you can foresee emotional stability with the passion, then yes. Okay? But I would say, because this is very specific of see how they're very separate here? See how the two are together and the other one's like there? So celebration may come with figuring out who you're going to be devoted to, right? This devotion, transcendence, voice of truth. And that's the energy of this Libra new moon, you guys, is really just bringing in this balance. We're just no more fuckboy energy. No more of this temporary love. This will be like the death of the era of situationships is pretty much over. Like, people are going to be like finding their past life lovers. They're going to be finding soulmates. They're going to be finding their soul's mission. They're going to be figuring out what they were doing, what they're here to do, and they're looking for people that are on the team, you know, not that are out here just like chasing whatever brings them happiness. It's like, no, like, what is bringing emotional, right? What is bringing emotional contentment? Yeah, look. And death, rebirth, right? You have a decision to make. Like, are you doing the same thing you've been doing for however many years? Or are you rebirthing into something new, right? This transformation. It's a choice. It's a choice you choose to make, okay? You can choose fertility. You can choose to be this Empress energy where everything is going to birth and bloom and become something else, right? And your wish fulfillment with love. right? And your wish fulfillment of not having this heartache and to have to start over again, right? And to have to be single, to not have to be single, right? Your wish fulfillment of having all of your passions and your dreams, everything fulfilled, only requires the death of the fake version of yourself. The death of the whatever, the devil, the temptation, the third party, whatever that is. Okay? For some of you guys it's different things. For some of you guys you can be addicted to like maybe like technology. For some you can be addicted to work. For some you can be addicted to fucking porn, maybe video games, maybe drugs, maybe alcohol, maybe fucking something, you know? Like we all have our different vices. So figure out what it is. And if it's not, you know, if it's not connected to your soul's mission, then cut back on it. So now, do you have a question? Hello. I'm doing just like a channeling, just been channeling for the collective, but if you have a question. Does Key Tonish like you? Maybe quite a lot. 9 of Cups. This is like a dream or like a wish fulfillment. Can you give us another card? Let me use this. Let me use this deck. Is this Empress? Okay, they may see you actually as the wish fulfillment. Are you male or female? Okay, they may actually see you as somebody that they want to have a family or create something with, or that may be able to help them create their dreams. They may be slightly actually even obsessed about it. Unless that's you. Unless you're obsessed about becoming, unless someone's obsessed about becoming the mother or having this future, and that's a problem. I don't sense any other, he is male, then yeah, then he sees you as this. He sees you as this wish fulfillment, maybe. 9 of Cups, this is like wish fulfillment. The Empress, this is like the one who births the children, right? He may have, did you guys date? This can mean different things. He can be totally obsessed with you to where there is no other third party. This can also potentially mean, now don't take this out on anybody, okay? Take it as it resonates. This could also mean maybe he did something or thought about doing something or entertained something and now he feels terrible because he sees you like this. But I think that he likes you. I think that he sees you. I think that he feels like he can start potentially like a life or move forward with you. He may be trying to give up some type of, he may be trying to get his shit together. He may be trying to give up some type of third party situation. This could be work, addiction. He could be getting his money right. Maybe he has gambling, or maybe he's trying to hold on to something. Yeah, he's trying to hold on to something. I don't know what is he holding on to. Something that he needs to let go of, something he's holding on to something. I'm not sure what it is. It's preventing him from creating the stability. Also, maybe there is somebody that's somebody or something that's ending, okay? Maybe somebody is passing away, or maybe business is ending. Maybe he's in another relationship that he's ending. In order to be able to come to you, that could mean whatever. You know, it could mean giving up drinking or whatever. Who knows, you know? I don't know. If you want to schedule a private reading, you can do that. My email is DivinityWithinThee@gmail.com. Yeah, there's definitely something that's happening for him that he wasn't expecting. This can be unexpected loss or unexpected shift or unexpected something within his finances. He may have been waiting for something. He may have taken a risk. He may have taken a risk. He may have taken a risk or a gamble on somebody or something that didn't turn out right. So he may be needing to resolve that. Yeah. Needs to quickly resolve that. It's priority. You're very welcome. So guys, I think I'm going to leave you here with this and say, let your heart open. Know that when the devotion comes in, yeah, 10 of Cups, so you got to go like all or nothing. We're really moving into this space of like either being very powerful sovereign beings, but like we're gonna need to come into very like passionate partnerships together. We're gonna need to do that because that's where the co-creation, as Pluto's now moved into Aquarius, that's where all of the brilliant ideas and everything is coming from, right? Is in this co-creation. And this is where the real growing comes from, right? The real transformation comes from also being in these romantic relationships. Now, if you look at all of them as a stepping stone forward, right? As lessons and blessings, and you know that they gave you hope and they made you achieve your wishes or your dreams, or pushed you towards pushing yourself more towards those, then you know, or put you on another direction that puts you towards your passion, right? Yeah. You stop fighting yourself over thinking about it, and you stop breaking your own heart and figured out how to make yourself happy by making the decision. Okay, for many of you guys, you will choose yourself. For many people, you're not gonna want. Now, you can't just be closed off all the time. Okay, but for many of you guys, you're not gonna want to open up to this love, and that's going to keep you anchored or rooted in third density. Okay, now doesn't mean you have to forgive just because you forgiven like family members or exes or whatever. Like, just because you forgive them, does that mean you forget? Does that mean they're besties and they're in your life again? Like, no, I don't think so. You know, it's about beginnings, new beginnings. Now, some people will actually do something that allows them to come in. Yeah, that allows them to come in. But they need to, you know, your boundaries for many of the collective, the boundaries. But fourth density, fifth density, you know, 4D, 5D, and above is a heart space, is a heart love space. Okay, and so you know, that's not going to happen if you're staying in a space of hate or fear or scarcity or lack or any of these things. It's not going to happen. And so you got to keep yourself out of those spaces, and you got to keep yourself kind of open for the love open for actual love to come in, you know? Don't just block off everything, but like, yes, use your intuition and know that there is still a lot of dark energies and things that are out here trying to like take us down. And so don't allow that to happen, you know? Don't allow yourself to be distracted by lust, by codependency. Like, are you needing to get in a relationship because you're codependent? Like, you know, my friend tried to say this to me. She's like, do you think you're being codependent? I'm like, no. I think I'm the most independent person I've ever met in my life. And if I feel that I'm at the point in my life where I'm ready to have, you know, someone act like a partner, then I think that that's not asking too much, because I've done extensively, like 15 years of work pretty much on myself, being mostly by myself. you know? Now, yeah, I've had a few relationships along the way because that's how we grow. That's how we heal certain parts of ourselves, you know? Even when I got in the car accident and got broken from head to toe, it was all on the right side of my body. So I knew that it had to do with the disharmony of the masculine, right? Right side is masculine, right? Left side is feminine. So I know that since I broke everything this way, that everything, especially my foot and all of that, like, that's my stability, that's my grounding, that's my foundation, right? So where are we feeling sick? Where are we feeling out of balance? Where are we hurting ourselves? What side of the body? Like, there's metaphysic mapping that goes to everything. And are we noticing? So I kind of knew that the last portion of healing this masculine wound would have to be able to be in a deeper, more intimate partnership to experience and to heal some of these things. And so I'm grateful. I'm super grateful for all of my experiences, for my blessings, for my lessons. Like, do I still love these people? I'm not sure. Will I always have love for people that I had love for? Yes, but you need to really just tune in. Like, is this person giving you time, attention, energy? Are they giving your things time, attention, and energy, right? Because we can think that attention is affection, and attention is not affection, and affection is not proper attention either, right? So just because someone's there doesn't mean they're there for you. So let me leave you with that and let you think about how this person chooses to support and show up for you, and how you choose to support and show up for yourself when you're around these other people, right? Did they inspire you? Did they make you feel good? Does it make you feel good? Do you feel good when you're around them, or do you feel lazy? Do you feel like you're not getting anything done? Do you feel like you're fucking repeating yourself? What does it feel like? How does it feel? So try to go towards things that make you feel good. And I don't mean like just having a good time or things that make you feel good, I mean that make your soul feel good, right? If that means writing, if that means singing, if that means dancing, if that means whatever, going for a walk, riding your bike, running, it feels really positive when you go near him. But are you able to have a positive feeling about yourself when he's not near? That's the question. Like, if you can't feel good, if you only feel good when the person is near, then that's a problem. Yeah. So you need to figure out what makes you feel good without another person. For me, I'm like making myself feel good every day, even in shitty situations. Like, that's my key, right? If I want to go out and do something and people want me to do something and I don't feel good, it feels overwhelming for me, then I don't fucking participate. That's just how I am. Like, today I'm going to make a video for all my friends because people want me to go out. My birthday, I'm All Hallows Eve, right? I'm a creepy witch. But normally I like to do really elaborate costuming because I'm a very couture designer and stuff. And so normally I like to do elaborate costuming and do this and go out and do costume contests and parties and things like this. But I'm not, for me, like, my nervous system regulation is everything for me right now. Like, even though, yeah, that makes me feel good, and even though, yeah, that this asshole made me miss my favorite thing last year, like, it also just allowed me to be able to get dressed up and express myself here, like, in other ways, right? To share it in other ways that do feel good without having to be around people that don't make me feel good or safe, or putting myself in positions where I might have to deal with that, you know? Now, there's a fine line between like, well, I wouldn't call it avoidance. For me, I'm like the spiritual work that I do is very high. And so protecting, like preserving, Vishnu style, my energy is everything to me. It's everything to me. So whatever anybody else or anything else is doing or happening, like, I'm not saying that it doesn't concern me, because I tune in with the collective and I feel the collective's energy, which is why I channel every day. Okay? So I hear everybody's everything all the time, and if that's overwhelming for me, I'm not going to do it. I'm okay with that. You know? We learn as we evolve that things that once were okay with us, things that once tasted good to us, partners that once we felt attracted to, you know, like things that once turned us on are now like, you know, or like cringe for us. And that's how you know. That's how you know you're evolving. And really, like, change is the only constant in life, right? You either evolve or repeat, and that's just reality. So for me, I already did this. Like, I want to do something new with some new people that are like ready to do things, you know? I don't want to talk about all the things I want to do. I want to do them. And if somebody doesn't show up, like, I'll do it. Like, that's how like, people didn't want to whatever. Like, I manifested the boat. My best friend was supposed to get that boat with me. But because I had somebody else thinking about this vision with me, I was able to manifest it. Like, the boat came into reality. I got the boat. When she came back, she had put all these other things into the mix that weren't part of the agreement, which made it so she couldn't participate in our dream anymore, right? So, okay, that's great. I'm going to sail it by myself. I'm going to have the studio on here myself, and I'm going to sail it myself, right? Like, sometimes shit changes. If you don't have two people or more people on the same vibrational frequency, on the same trajectory, on the same, like, life path goals moving forward, then you're not going to move forward. You're going to stay stagnant, or you're going to move in a direction or in a way that you don't want to, right? And that's not what we want. That's not what we want. We want to evolve. We want to spiral up. We don't want to spiral out. We don't want to spiral down. We don't want to spiral inward. We want to spiral upward. We want to evolve. And that's where I'm at. Some people are not meant to. Some people are happy to stay in third density. Some people love their things. Some people love to, you know, have all of their worldly pleasures. They love to just have all of their like low vibrational reptilian fucking needs filled, you know? Lust and drinking and intoxication and all of this. Now, I'm not saying, like, don't have a good time when it's time to celebrate. I'm not saying that, okay? I would be the biggest hypocrite if I did. But I've learned, like, can I smoke a pack of cigarettes and then put them down for 3 months? Yes. Can I smoke one and not need another? Yes. Can I do it by choice? Can I have one drink? Can I do whatever? Yes. Because I've learned to become complete and whole and happy with myself. So I'm not using it as a tool or a crutch or as an escape route, you know? Sometimes I may be as an escape route, right? You're just like, oh, this is a lot. Like, I need a drink or whatever. But, again, until you have enough self-control to manage your ship without additives, preservatives, enhancers, then you haven't figured much out. And that goes for people that are on consistent medication and other things like this. Figure out what is off in your body, bro. Figure out what's off in your mind. Figure out what's off in your environment that's creating that. Okay? Epigenetics states that it can be rewritten. Okay? So the only thing that we are really up against is our ancestral trauma, our ancestral PTSD, and the karma that we're just trying to fill. So figure out what the fucking lesson is. Figure out whatever it is with your family, what your karmatic balance is, what your thing is. Ask your ancestors, ask your guides, ask your angels, pray, do whatever you got to do, meditate, whatever, right? And ask, what is my lesson? Look at your patterns. Look at the patterns that keep happening in the family, right? What keeps happening? What do you keep seeing? For me, I know I'm meant to come into union and have a supportive partner, because what I see, the strongest pattern recognition in my ancestral generational history, is women that have had to have their own businesses or raise their children or their families or do whatever, but they've done it all on their own. And at some point, yes, the strong woman needs a protector. The strong woman needs a stronger partner, right? Or at least someone that's willing to get on board, be in the same boat, right? So I know where the pattern disrupt is, right? Like I had to just see where the pattern disrupt is with the last person I was with, that I'm just like, oh my God, why did I not notice that you were a fucking narcissist? Oh, maybe because I didn't realize all of the signs that you're a fucking sociopath. Even worse, you're like in a way, way more in-depth type of narcissist. Why didn't it? Because I had never had a narcissist do nice things for me. This was weird. Fake things, transactional things, but not like feeling love from them, not feeling like loving whatever. And like, yeah, it's just like how deep does the trickery or manipulation get? Like, it goes as deep as it needs to until your ass fucking wakes up and recognizes the pattern and says, oh shit, this is the same thing that I've experienced in all these other relationships that I've left and then done all these amazing things after. And so when you have this realization of, oh, am I being my best authentic self within this relationship or not? And that's how you know. I'm not going to tell anybody to leave anybody or be with anybody or do any of this shit. That's not my fucking job. I don't do that. And if you ever take anything I say and say that I said for you to leave or do something, like, I did not. And fuck you if you ever do, or anybody out there ever does, because that's not what I do. I don't do past, present, or future. I don't do whatever. I simply am a messenger. I share with you what I get from your guidance, from your ancestors, from your angels, from your oversouls, what they tell me that I can see and what information I can give. Okay? So what you choose to do with the information you get. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, let's say someone goes onto a page and they read on Wikipedia and then they're like, this is now my fucking truth. Like, no, that was written by people that just submitted the information. Like, did you actually check the book that they say it came from? Like, did you find that in the book? Like, did you know? Oh, you didn't actually do the work? You didn't actually like research? It's like everybody's like, no, like, no. I did hella research. It's like, no, you asked ChatGPT to do it. And did you actually ask it to cite its fucking sources? Because I can tell you right now, when I tune in the ancestors, they say this is bullshit. Don't use this. Someone created this to manipulate. Go to the source. Where is the source? The source. Okay? Figure out the source of where the information is coming from that you're getting it. Is it coming from someone that's angry because you're demanding an answer? Is it coming from someone that's hurt, wounded child because they just experienced some trauma? Is it coming from... Do you know what I'm saying? what is the circumstance? What is the situation? What are you asking? How are you dealing with it? Like, perception and projection is 9/10 of universal law. So I think that how you choose to perceive the situation is how it chooses to continue or manifest or dissipate. It's a choice. So you just asked me if he likes you. I told you how he perceives you as his wish fulfillment as the Empress. And then the next thing you say is he knows that he likes you, and then should you leave him? Should you figure out what the fuck you want, maybe? That's probably the real question. Because if you're consistently asking exterior sources for validation instead of seeking knowledge and receiving that validation, knowing your intuition is saying, yes, I resonate with what this person is saying. It feels innately like I'm connecting to it in my fucking core center of my being. And when you're feeling that, then you're feeling it. Then you're intuitively tuning into it. You're not fucking taking someone else's, you know? If you need clarity or guidance, yes, I do that. And I give very good guidance. I've had maybe 1 or 2 people in about 15, 18 years that something didn't turn out. Now they also had multiple choice where they got to choose what they did and how the outcome would be. Both of them chose to do what they wanted instead of what was recommended in the situation. So they got the secondary path. So the reading still wasn't wrong. It wasn't inaccurate. It was based upon their free will to think or choose or perceive things however they chose to. Right? Now the one was upset because the dude she didn't have any patience. But that could have been the fucking love of her life. She didn't have any patience. Okay, good. She didn't want to wait. His tire blew out or something like this, and I don't remember. Oh, maybe actually I think that she saw that he went somewhere else. I was like, what? But you know, you don't know what else happened, and you didn't actually give the person the chance to tell you either. And that's the point. Like, but that's also a boundary point, right? Like, where is my boundary to where, like, I don't really care what happened. What I know is, like, you didn't apologize to me, you didn't show up for me, and you told me this other thing when it was this other thing that I saw online, that I heard and saw from other people before you. And that's what fucked her up. That's why now, to each his own, right? But that could have just been, that was actually, I do know this because I've known this person for quite some time, for a lot of years, over 10 years. And actually that was the turning point, that she actually became taking better care of herself, and she stopped allowing all of these half-ass, like half-ass lovers or people that were just trying to smash, right? She stopped entertaining those, and like everything just like perpetually like unfolded for her. So actually, like I said, there's always multiple pathways. Like the universe, when you choose yourself, when you authentically act as yourself and choose yourself, and then you say, I want to choose this, or I wish to have that, the universe is happy to deliver, I think is what it is. So, choose you, be devoted, right? Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally, Krishna. Honor your inner force. Steps are being given. That's how we transcend, guys. Voice of truth. Joan of Arc. Okay? So for many of you, once you come out, once you speak your truth, okay, Maybe your heart awakened. Maybe your truth is to say, hey, I had a heart awakening, right? I'm ready to receive this love. Maybe you already know who the love is. And maybe you want to pledge your devotion. For some of you guys, this can be an actual person. For others, this can be, some of you guys may want to go into being a monk or learning to be a high priestess or a priest or something like this. For some of you guys, you can be going into a higher level of spiritual devotion. Lord Shiva, transcendence, right? Rise up, honor your inner force, dance with the universe. Okay, so you're transcending. Like, it doesn't matter. As long as you're speaking your truth, then what you're manifesting, magic manifesting, right? Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused, okay? So for me, I know I've been on a twin flame journey for quite some time. However, I know regardless, I'm divinely guided, right? So when I do what I do, I'm acting accordingly to divine guidance, right? And if that means that what they're telling me I need to do in order for masculine to show up and to meet me and to be in devotion to me, then that means that's what I'm going to do. Now, if he chooses, right, to come forward and speak the truth, that is a choice. That is free will. I don't dictate that, right? They don't dictate that. That is free will. If he doesn't, then I know that I'm not birthing these future prophets of the world potentially through my womb. I know that the devotion goes into more high priestess work where I birth, where I help to teach and birth future prophets of the world, right? Through my guidance, through maybe teaching courses or whatever, right? Like waking people up. I don't know. But I know regardless, I still choose what I'm divinely guided to choose, and how the next thing shows up or the next thing unfurls is whatever. And even if I go this way, even if I still keep going on my high priestess, like if I stay in this mode, which is what I've been in, right? I'm just going to stay in devotion because those are the only, my guides, my ancestors, the spirits, the angels, all of these people, the aliens, right? These are the only people that I feel have my best interest out, that are actually protecting me at this moment. I feel the most protection, spiritually speaking. So I'm going to listen to the people. Well, to the people. I'm going to listen to the deities, to the spirits, right? To the ancestors, to the angels, to the oversouls. I'm going to listen to the people who have given me clear advice, that don't fucking lie, that don't manipulate, that aren't pretending to be anything other than who and what they are. And I'm going to tap in with that every day and ask for the clarity and the protection and the guidance every day. And I'm totally okay with that. Until someone else is on this level to transcend and speak their truth and to open their heart also with me, right? To open their heart to me, right? My heart is open. My heart is open, but my boundaries are very clear. So, understand, right? And where only that which we allow is that which will continue. So if we allow people to degrade us, if we allow people to come back or return, the only true apology is a changed action or behavior. So if people aren't displaying that, if people aren't changing the way that they're speaking to you or dealing with you or honoring you or showing up for you or giving you time, attention, and energy that your soul and your being and your human needs, then right? People speak to us in many ways. I was talking about this yesterday. Communication is only 7%. So me speaking to you and the language in which I'm speaking to you is only 7% of the communication. So much of the communication comes with my hands, with my gestures, with my eyes, with my tone of voice, with the way that I sit, with the way everything, right? Only 7% of our communication comes from the language that we're speaking, the words that are coming out of our mouth. So, the voice of truth isn't just what people say or text. It's how people choose to show up, or if they choose to show up. That's the truth, right? You can believe in magic and know that good things will happen and good things are coming to you and that the universe is conspiring in your favor. But you can also believe partially in reality, right? Like you can believe in what, like maybe not everything that you're being told from other people, but what you're seeing. And if everything what you're seeing is always a terrible, fearful, intense reality, then figure out what you're doing to create that consistently and eliminate that, right? Alleviate that from your problematic list, and you'll see that everything else will happen. So anyways, I'm in this spot, but I'm going to hop off because now I've been on for longer than I wanted to be, and I need to make a video for my friends before they try to do some weird things or surprise parties or any of this shit, because I'm not into it. My nervous system regulation is everything for me, and if people can't run things by me first for me to feel good about them, then I just don't participate anymore. I don't care how awesome it is, how epic the lineup or the I don't give a fuck. Honestly, 0 fucks. My well-being and my health and my nervous system and my heart are far more important to me, So I'm gonna be in the ins and ins until one of my friends, lovely humans, shows up and wants to take me somewhere nice for my birthdays. That would be amazing. But other than that, guys, protect your energy, keep your boundaries strong. Like, don't isolate yourself. For me, I'm not isolating myself. I'm totally happy for people. And, people have come over. Not this many, but I have no need to hide from the world, just the majority of it. And I'm okay with that. If I was a witch, I would probably live in some fucking woodland place somewhere on the cliff of an ocean, that's probably where I would be. But I'm a witch in 2025, so I live in the middle of some rice fields, in the middle of a village that's in between the jungle and the beach, because that works for me. So I like the quiet, I like a nice view, and I like to move slowly for my nervous system. My nervous system requires predictability because there's so much chaos and unpredictability in my life growing up. I don't think I need to do that anymore, right? It's like relationships that were transactional. Like, I don't think I need to do that anymore. And you don't have to. It's choice. Choices. As always, infinite blessings, love, and light. If you like what I'm doing here and you can donate or support me in any way, like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your other friends. Go down to my campaign below. Donate $1, $5, $25. Everything helps, and I super appreciate it. This is my job, and this is the energy that I give out, and I appreciate when people return it. It comes back to you tenfold, I promise. As always, infinite blessings, love, and light. Ciao for meow. Zoe out.